Hi, within this lecture we're gonna start seeing the basic Linux commands. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna run the terminal. So within this terminal you might see your username as a different thing rather than Kali. So if you have installed the ISO, you have already determined your own username. If you're using the OVA created for this course, you may see this as root, and it doesn't matter. We're gonna see what difference can it make in the upcoming lectures. But right now you just have to worry about what's coming next, so you don't have to worry about this at all. Okay, so you have a different username. Maybe you have the same username. It really doesn't matter. What matters is that we need to understand what this terminal does. So within this terminal, we write commands and it actually gets executed by Kali Linux. And in fact, we have seen this when I showed you how to change the keyboard, right? So what we're gonna do next is to open this file manager. Okay, so if you open the folder, you can see that whether your username is Kali or something else, you can see all these documents, downloads, desktop, file system, and everything. So what we're gonna do next is to learn how to navigate inside of the terminal. So we can execute commands in any of these folders and it can make a difference. So first of all, we need to understand how to navigate. Okay, right now we are in some folder, we are in some kind of place inside of our file manager and we don't know where. So in order to find out, we need to write some commands, we need to execute some commands and check the output. And then we can navigate through as if we are double clicking on any of this, like going into the documents, creating a folder here. Okay, let me do that. Let me create like a folder, but not from here, maybe from the terminal. Okay, let me show you what I mean. I'm inside of Kali right now and I'm writing pwd. It stands for print working directory. Okay, so it will show you where we are currently. As it turns out that I'm inside of home Kali folder. Okay, so it's the same folder that I have seen when I opened the file manager before, because I'm inside of the Kali user. Okay, and again, if you're inside of some other user, then you should be seeing that. And it really doesn't matter where you are right now, because we're going to see how to navigate in a minute. So over here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and see what kind of folders and files are there inside of the home and Kali. Okay, so it turns out I'm inside of the Kali folder. So maybe I want to go into some of the folders like documents and downloads and stuff. By the way, if you come over here to file preferences, you can change the fonts, you can change the appearances. So my size is 20 right now. If you want, you can make it bigger, you can make it smaller. I'm using it like this big so that you can see it in a better way. Okay, but you can change it in a way that you want. Anyway, so we have printed out the working directory. And again, I wonder what's inside of it. So I can run this ls. It's kind of listing. It lists the folders and files available in the current folder. If I open that folder, you will actually see that desktop, documents, downloads and stuff are actually inside of this Kali folder. Right? So I see exactly those folders. If I want to, I can double click into any of those. I can change my folder, for example, into the documents, and I can see what's inside of that as well. The command to do that is cd, and cd stands for change directory, and you have to make sure that you're writing exactly as it is, like uppercase D and something like that. Okay, so you should exactly write like this: cd space documents or cd space downloads. And once I execute that, I'm inside of the documents right now. Okay, now I have double clicked, so it's exactly like double clicking. Now if I run ls over here, as you can see, I got nothing back because there isn't anything inside of the documents. If there was, I would have seen that. Great, now I'm gonna right click and create a folder over here. For example, I'm gonna create a test folder, okay? And once I do that, I can go back to the terminal and run ls one more time to see test folder actually exists. Right now I'm getting test because it's there. Of course, I could have created this test from here as well. We're gonna see it, don't worry. But the idea over here is that you can see the available files and folders and you can interact with them using the terminal. And obviously, we don't have to go over the file manager and right click and create folder anytime we need to create a folder or create a document. We can do that with the terminal as well. Right now, I'm inside of the documents and assume that I want to create a test2 folder. Okay, if I'm sure that I'm inside of the documents, inside of my terminal I can run this command, make dir. So mkdir, it stands for making directory. Okay, so for example, if I write this, make dir test2, then if I write ls, I can see that test and test2 is actually over there. As you can see, it actually created the test2 folder inside of the documents. And the idea of the navigation between the folders derives from this, because once by the way, if you write clear, it just clears the screen. Once I created that folder, it actually has been created inside of the documents. Okay, right now, if I write ls, I can see it. If I want to, I can go into that folder as well, writing cd test2. Right now I'm inside of the documents and test2 folder. If I create any file or if I create any folder, I can just do it in the test2. And if I write this cd ... it will just take me to the previous folder, which is the documents in this case. Right? It's exactly like clicking on the back button over here. So of course you can use this cd command and ls command in order to navigate throughout the terminal. So for example, you can go back to the user, the home Kali folder. You can go to the downloads, you can go to the desktop, you can create folders, you can create files if you want. So depending on where you are, it may produce some different behavior, right? For example, if you create a folder inside of desktop, it will appear in the desktop, not in the documents. So that is why it's important for us to learn about this navigation first. So right now I'm inside of the documents, and if I write ls, I can see the folders, right? So there is test and test2. So assume that I want to create a file. So the command for that is touch. So if you write anything over here after the touch, it will be created. It can be a Python file, Java file, TXT file, JPEG file, whatever you may want to think of. Okay, it doesn't create a folder, it creates a file for you. And obviously we can use this to create some maybe, I don't know, text files to have some notes inside of it. For example, notes.txt. Okay, and when I execute this notes.txt is actually created inside of the documents folder, as you can see. Right now I can double click on it, I can write inside, I can write anything inside of it. And by the way, before double clicking, maybe you may want to right click it and just select the thing that you may want to open this with. But don't worry about the editors like Mousepad, Vim. I'm just going to show you a better way to do that. Okay, so don't worry about opening and writing something inside of it. We're gonna use something called Nano in order to do that for the upcoming lectures. Right now we're just seeing how to navigate through. So assume that we have created this notes.txt. Maybe I want to move that, maybe I want to delete that, maybe I want to see the difference between those and the folders. So if I write ls, as you can see, notes.txt is written in white, and these tests are written in blue. Of course, it depends on the theme, it depends on the colors, but they are shown in different colors so that we can understand whether this is like a file and folder. And if I go to cd ... if I write ls, as you can see, everything is shown in blue right now, which makes me think that everything is folder right now. So I can go back and I can see that if I write ls, the Kali is again a folder. There isn't any file inside over here. So this home folder is actually the folder for different users. Of course, we can have multiple users when we use the Linux. And right now I'm seeing Kali, maybe you're seeing something else, but it doesn't matter. Right now you know how to navigate between them, right? You can write cd Kali or cd whatever you see it over here, and then you can come to that folder. And you can run ls to see see the content of it. So make sure you run pwd before you do anything else so that you can understand where you are. And if you want, you can run make there, touch, ls, cd ... and so all of this stuff will enable you to navigate through the terminal. But again, maybe I want to delete them, maybe I want to move them. And in order to do that, we need to learn all those commands as well. That's exactly what we're going to do within the next lecture.